This is my co-host, Andrew the Boxing Brain, and we've got
Hello.
a special guest with us today. We've got Yemi from Chatting Boxing. How you doing, pal?
All good, guys. All good.
So
check out his channel. We'll put a link. We'll put a link in the description. Get over there. Give him some subs. He's a small channel like us. How long have you been doing the channel? Not long.
Yeah, about 2-3 years.
Oh, okay. So still quite new.
Yeah, that's it. With us young channels, we've got to support each other.
Absolutely.
Of course. Right. Let's take it away, Andrew.
We've got it's a busy old weekend of boxing, isn't it? Busy old. We could have had about 100 different subjects, not with all the bloody Fabio Wardley, Gerald Miller stuff as well. But we'll start with the fights. We'll go with Teofimo Lopez versus Bazboza Jr. My first question, and I'll ask this to Yemi first. Obviously, Teofimo, he fought, what was it, last June against Claggett, and he's coming straight back in there against Bazboza Jr., who's no mug, is he? Like 32-0. He's the WBO interim. Tricky fight, this for Teofimo, Yemi? What do you think?
I think this could be a potential upset, guys. I think Arnold Bazboza could win if Teofimo takes him likely. This could be a potential upset, guys, definitely. I think this is the most competitive fight out of the bunch into most fight cards.
Yeah, well said. Well said, Chris. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I totally agree. Like, we obviously Jack Catterall is no mug, a really, really decent fighter, and he managed to beat him in his last fight convincingly.
Bit controversial, wasn't it, Chris? Bit people sort of a bit funny about that, weren't they?
I don't know. I just think when you've got that defensive style, you have to win perfectly. And if you don't win perfectly and someone's forcing a fight, you can lose in them situations. So, and I just think, like, Bazboza Jr., like, Teo don't really like them guys. He likes to be the one coming at you, pressuring you. He doesn't like it when it's the other way around. As we've seen before, when he lost.
Teofimo hasn't really impressed me as a fan since just past it when he beat him. So he has had a good performance that impressed me since he became undisputed at 135 when he beat Lomachenko. Since then, he hasn't really impressed me.
It's the move up. At 140, he hasn't got the power he had at 135. That's what
we had a stat on this, Yemi. We done it on a video, right? It's alarming, right? His KO rate. Now we know as you go through the levels, elite fighters, obviously, Floyd Mayweather, we saw that. Obviously you're not going to be knocking out opponents, but his KO ratio, his ability to stop opponents, are going up a weight division is shocking. Like, it's really bad. So I don't know. I still think my I've got another quick question actually. We'll start with you. We'll start with you, Chris, this time. Yeah, what Bazboza Jr.'s last two, he beat Catterall, obviously, and Carlos Ramirez in his last two. Who is fighting Haney, isn't he? I think he's fighting Haney, isn't he? So what chances of Bazboza Jr., what chances do you give him of winning? Do you think this is 50-50, 60-40 Teo? Where are you at?
What is that for?
60-40 to Teo.
Yeah.
Teofimo. Or 55-45. It definitely, in my opinion, the most competitive fight on most fight cards.
Yeah. Chris, give us a percentage. If you had to say now, where would you?
If I had to say now, I'm leaning more towards Teo, but I wouldn't be surprised if Bazboza Jr. won. It won't be a shock because he's very capable of winning that fight good enough. It's like, I've got to agree with Yemi about 55, 45, 60, 40, whichever, really close.
Yeah, it's hard to disagree. I mean, I think it all depends how kind of motivated Teofimo comes in. I would have expected him. I don't know if to be honest, I don't know if fights have broken down in the last year, but to have fought last June against Claggett, who, he's a top 15 fighter, to have had nothing since, and to go straight in there against Bazboza Jr. is no mug. Oh, it's a bit dicey for me. I'm still edging towards Teo, but only just. So we're all in agreement. Should we all put an exact? Are we all going points for Teo? I think I'm going points.
Definitely points. I don't think your fight hits hard enough not to find it out. I think it goes maybe split decision Teofimo. That's my gut feeling.
Split decision Teofimo. There we go.
Split decision. Same. I'm going split decision. I think it's going to be razor close. Split decision.
I don't want to give an exact prediction. Yeah, it wouldn't make for an interesting video, would it? But I kind of agree.
Question, guys. Are you paying for the zone pay-per-view, the special offer? Is anyone paying for it? The big,
well, I need to sort my DAZN subscription out anyway. I'm still having an hour
because for it, even though it's normally, if they're on in America, we get it free normally.
Oh yeah, it's American. Oh yeah, it's not British. Oh yeah, it's American. So it's free.
It should be free for us. Don't quote me on that, but it should be free for us.
Yeah, I've got to give a different decision. I'll go with a majority decision maybe. But yeah, we're all going for a Teofimo decision.
On points.
Anything else you boys want to say on this fight before we move on to the next one? Any other thoughts around it?
This could be an upset.
Yeah. Chris, any more you want to say?
I think it could be an upset on the cards. Big style.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if there was. Anyway, we shall see. But yeah, nice one. Don't like and leave us a comment. Leave us a comment if you think Bazboza Jr. is going to win this one. Because I reckon it'll be worth having a bet on, actually, Bazboza Jr. It'll probably be a decent bet.
Yeah, like and subscribe.
Nice.
All right.
Have you got to keep doing the intros, Chris?
No, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut the original intro and do it like that. Yeah. And we'll just repeat it. Yeah.
Nice one, boys. We got to go on to the enigma that is Ryan Garcia. Love him or hate him, I've got a question on this. Garcia, Rolly Romero, both a couple of characters. This is for the WBA regular belt. I hate this bloody WBA.
What weight class is it? 140 still? Is it 140? Yeah.
147.
No, 147, mate. Garcia can't make 140. He can't do that. He can't. Good. He's really. I think we saw that, didn't we, boys? With a Haney, it was obviously 3 pounds over. Look, we can argue about how dedicated he was, the rest of it, but I think he's done at 140, boys, by the looks of it. And this is also to add to that. You know, Rolly Romero's a career 140 fighter. He's going up to 147. He's obviously had a couple of losses against obviously 2 of the big guys out there, Davis and Cruz, which is no shame. I guess I'll come to Yemi first. My first question is this going to be too much, do you think, for Rolly Romero? I mean, first fight at 147, he's been stopped by Cruz, stopped by Davis. Garcia's a big puncher. Yemi, give me your thoughts. What do you think?
This is going to be a bit controversial. I know a lot of people say Ryan Garcia is a drug cheat, but I think he really impressed me with that win over Haney. That was his best performance yet, career best performance. Even though, in my opinion, drug cheat, but I think he actually beat him, properly, Haney, and actually gave Haney's first clear defeat despite the controversy. So I think this is a showcase fight. If I guys see a performance where he gets Haney, it should be whitewash.
Yeah. It was comprehensive, wasn't it? Like I know that it was kind of wiped off the record, Chris. Like what Yemi said there is interesting because the optics don't lie. What I was watching in that was a demolition job. All right, look, he come in 3 pounds or whatever the rehydration was. He looked bigger and stronger there. But Devin Haney was standing in the pocket and trying to fight him. So that was his own fucking fault, as far as I'm concerned. Yeah. What do you think, or based on what Yemi said there?
Obviously he couldn't Garcia's best punch is the left hook, innit? And
dynamite.
He couldn't miss with it. He couldn't miss with it. So if you know, I think they just got their strategies all wrong, and he felt the power, and he panicked and just fucking got concussion, got scrambled, because that can happen. Because he hit him with a good shot in the first round, and then Haney just never recovered from it for me. And but talking about this fight with Romero and Garcia. Like, I don't rate Rolly Romero. I don't rate him at all. I think he's absolute garbage. Like,
don't sit on the fence, Chris. How you feel?
He is fucking useless. He's only up there because he knows how to sell a fight and he's a mouthpiece. Garcia is just going to walk through and destroy him. He's a good talker. That's why he fought Cruz. Look at his performance against Cruz. Like, it was pathetic. you got this little mighty mouse running around at you, and he couldn't do anything as a big man to keep him up. I just never really rated Romero. He got the title.
Yeah.
The world champion, by email. He didn't win it from anybody. He got given it. And then it got taken away as soon as he defended the champion. I think he's utterly useless as a fighter. Like, I don't rate him at all. So this
in my opinion, this should be the least competitive fight.
Yeah, for sure.
The easiest victory for Garcia.
He's. I think I'm in agreement with that. Do you think what business has Romero got going up to 147 against a puncher like Garcia, who's going to be way more comfortable at 147 than Romero, by the way? Like, unless I'm missing something here. Is Romero doing this for the money, Yemi?
Of course.
2 reasons: the money and the 140 champions are too competitive, too much. All elite, like Hitchens, Powell. They're too good. 140 division is hot. Tank. Everybody's hot at 140.
Yeah.
And Romero does not attack against any of them.
Cruz, Valenzuela, they're all talented guys, aren't they? Good answers there, boys. It's very difficult.
Garcia is one of the biggest stars in boxing, so it's a payday for Romero. They can't turn down.
Yeah. So what do you? I personally, because there's certain fighters, and like Gerald Miller winds me up. I used to really like him, but he pisses me off. Like certain fighters just rub you up the wrong way. Garcia, he's a bit of a kind of Ben Whittaker, isn't he? Well, nobody likes Ben Whittaker at the moment, to be fair, but Garcia tends to divide opinion. He's a big social media star. He's a crossover star. He's obviously got his demons. He's a bit of... I find him hilarious. I don't know if you saw this today. Rolly Romero was hitting the heavy bag and he was making some weird sounds. I don't know what was going on. And Garcia come into the... I don't know if it was the... what do you call it when they come out and just do a little... What do you call that when they come out and they start shadowboxing a bit in the ring? I can't remember.
The public workout.
I think it was that, and Garcia was taking the piss out of him. Are you a Garcia fan? Do you like all his antics and stuff?
I like it. I think he's one of those guys. He's a pretty boy, so he's always gonna get the mainstream attention, especially from the ladies. Just that, he's one of those guys. Yeah. Maybe he's got a mental health problem that affects his performance. Doesn't take his career seriously. Maybe because he knows he's a draw, and he's gonna sell it regardless. He doesn't always give his 100%. He's very in and out. He doesn't give it his all. He's very carefree in terms of his dedication.
Yeah, it's a good.
I like him as a potential star in American boxing. I love him as a star, and he does have ability. He does have talent. Just that, unfortunately, he's very hit and miss in terms of his dedication to his boxing craft.
Yeah, Chris. What about you? Are you a fan of his antics or?
Sometimes I am.
Yeah, I find him entertaining. I love watching his fights. Like, I think he's good for American boxing. Like, as a fighter, I just think, and this fight for him is just what you do when you've had a long layoff. You come back and you fight someone who a big name, get your confidence back. And I'll give you my prediction now: Garcia KO before 6 rounds. He'll knock him out before 6.
My worry is, I just hope Ryan Garcia doesn't end up like Adrian Broner. Like, he just gets fast lane. And his career gets in the room.
Good shout.
He fights his demons and gets his career back on path. And hopefully this win will get him back, and he will continue, ascending, through the fight game. I just don't want him to be next Broner.
Yeah, that could easily happen.
It's a really good shout, because the thing is, right, especially at 147 now, right? He ain't. I'll put it here now, right? Because Boots matches him for talent, if not more so, right? And he's going to go on to be undisputed at 147. He ain't beating Boots. Yeah. By the time Boots goes through Barrios and Norman Jr. So where do we kind of see?
I think as well with Ryan Garcia, people.
Go on.
Even if he loses, one of those fighters. Even if he's losing, like AJ, because he's a draw. I think because of the character, he's always going to get the big fights, no matter what he does.
True.
That's probably why he doesn't give it all his all, because he knows it's such a draw. He's always going to get opportunities no matter what.
Must be lovely to be in that position, though, mustn't it? Where he knows, do you know what? Win, lose, or draw, I'm getting paid mega, and people are going to come and watch me regardless. Yeah, but it depends on his motivation. What do you think of Conor Benn shout out? Like, Conor Benn wants to face him. Yes. Yeah, I don't know if you saw that today, Chris. Conor Benn, I think it was on Instagram or maybe he tweeted it. He said, look, he said whoever wins that regular bet out of them, he said, I fancy a bit of that. So he said, no problem. So Benn Garcia, I'll tell you what, that'll be a bit of a dust up, wouldn't it?
Great fight. That'll be a really good fight.
Yeah. So let's actually, last question. Do any of you boys, I'll start with Yemi, do you see Garcia ever becoming a world champion? The 147 division, all the while Boots in it, is a difficult division. Do you think if Boots move up to 154, he wins?
Maybe if he fights Mario Barros, yes, he can. He can beat it's not Boots. Is it otherwise? Is it Brian Norman?
Norman Jr. Yeah.
Yeah. If Boots doesn't unify and moves it to 154, and Garcia fights the other 2 champions, he can become world champion.
Yeah, Chris, do you think
totally agree with that.
On? Yeah.
He can't beat Boots, but 100% he can beat the other 2. 100%, yeah, he can be a world champion for sure.
Needs to get in there quick then, doesn't he, before Boots gets the undisputed, doesn't he? He needs to hurry up.
Yeah, but once Boots is undisputed, he's moving up. There's no way that
definitely. It's a big one
I think it's just a waiting game for Garcia, isn't it? Just tick over, keep the winning streak going. You know, obviously had that controversial Haney thing, and he's obviously got banned, didn't he, for a while. So I think the world's his oyster. If he just switches on now, concentrate.
So in your opinion, guy, who's a bigger draw, Tank or Garcia?
Oh, Garcia. What a question.
Garcia.
Garcia.
Probably Garcia.
Yeah.
Oh, God, there's not much in it, though, is there?
No. But I think Tank is, because Tank's at the end of his career, and his career is so, it's not been very good. He hasn't fought any big names. The biggest name he's fought is Garcia. That's the biggest name Tank's fought.
Cruz, maybe.
Yeah, but I suppose. But yet again, what did he have to do? Rehydration clause on Cruz. Rehydration clause on Garcia.
Weight bully, mate. Weight bully. It's like Benavidez.
Yeah, none of Tank's career, and he's at the end of it, is terrible. Like, he's not going to go in the Hall of Fame or anything like that. He's just going to be a guy that was world champion.
How old is he, Tank? Is he 29, 30, or is he a bit younger? I can't. How old is he?
27, 28.
Yeah.
But he's gone on record multiple times saying he doesn't want to be. He's a bit like Jared Anderson. It's these fruity American fighters, like, they don't seem to fancy it. He's gone on record saying he wants to retire fairly soon.
Yeah. I was wrong. He's 30. He's 30 years old now, so he's quite old now. It's getting old now for welterweight.
30. Yes, so you're right, Chris. He's getting sort of towards.
Yeah.
He's getting towards the end. So I think Garcia over the next couple of years, if he gets this win,
the issue with American boxing is they're all trying to find the Mayweather strategy.
Yeah,
big stadium for least risk. That's what they want to fight for strategy. That's why these American fighters like Keith Thurman, Andrew Reid, are fighting once every blue moon.
Oh no,
terrible.
So let's get up. I think I've got a feeling, boys. We're all going for a KO for Garcia here. So
I already gave mine. KO.
You did. Sorry. Yemi, give me sort of a round or a ballpark of when he stops Romero.
Probably round 7, 8. Yeah.
It's late rounds. I think I'll probably go round 7 to 9. I think Rolly Romero might be sort of fairly game, and I think he might just give up. To be honest, I think Romero might just give up. Nice, there we go. We've gone for a whitewash. Ryan Garcia across I can't see too many people going for Rolly Romero here, but you never know. Let us know if you are. You know,
he ain't got a chance.
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe, guys.
Yeah,
subscribe, please.
What's the
next topic?
Right then, Chris and Yemi, we come to Haney versus Ramirez.
This fight, I think Haney by points.
Yeah,
I think Ramirez giving problems. Definitely giving problems, but I think Haney by points.
It's at a catchweight, interestingly. This is another fighter. We're seeing a trend here at the moment.
What's this
where fighters have been too long at the lower weight divisions. It's at 144 a catchweight, I believe. And I guess my first question might be, we'll start with you, Chris. Do you think after this fight, Haney also moves up to welter? Another 147 moves?
He's got to.
Silly question, but got to ask it.
He's got to. And let's not forget, when Devin Haney moved to 140, they offered him to put a rehydration clause on top of Garcia. Yeah. And he said no before the fight. And do you know why he said no? Because he has to rehydrate himself and put on about 2 stone. So he's struggling at that weight. So he definitely has to move. I don't know why he just didn't fight at 147. Because he wants to fight Garcia. He's fighting at 147. Teo, he's taking a fight at 147. So if all his rivals are all moving up, he should move up with him. And 147 division's really weak at the moment. Let's have it
outside
right.
Outside the boots, yeah.
Outside of the boots. It's anyone can get it. Anyone can. Really.
Yeah. Yeah, mate, give us your thoughts on that. Yeah, you think Haney will stay at 147 now? Or when he moves up to
but what happens to success? He won't beat Boots. He ain't beating Boots. He beat Barrios and Norman, but he ain't beating Boots. No one's beating Boots. No one.
No, I just can't. Especially and Stanionis is no mug, boys. I still think Stanionis can still win one of his titles back. Once Boots goes up. So he's a decent, durable, tough fighter. Ramirez, though, interestingly, his only 2 losses were to another fight we've already mentioned this evening, Bazboza Jr. So no shame there. And his other loss came in 2021 against our British legend that is Josh Taylor.
Undisputed.
Yeah. He reckons, I read on Boxing News 24, and he's got 18 knockouts in 29. He reckons, boys, we'll start with you, Yemi. Ramirez reckons Haney won't be able to live with his power. What do you make about that statement, Yemi?
Well, who's Ramirez stopped though? I've noticed who's he knocked out.
This is what I mean. I don't think he's especially known as a puncher. I don't know whether he's just playing a bit of mind games here or what, Yemi. I don't know.
No,
he hasn't knocked out anybody.
Not to anyone of notice. So, Haney's got a good chin. So I don't see why he can't do his power.
Yeah, I did think that was a strange one. He's got 18 knockouts, but there's no one really on there that you would think.
I know what that's about.
Go on, Chris.
He's trying to get in his head because obviously Garcia hurt him, didn't he? So he's trying to say, as soon as you get wobbled, you're going to jack like he did against Garcia. You're not going to be able to handle the power.
I thought he's just trying to sort of see because look, the thing is, boys, Haney obviously he was a champion in recess, and then obviously Puello got promoted in the end because he was out. He turned down the Sandor Martin fight, didn't he, guys? Yeah. So this is his first fight back though, and again, this is what do you, Yemi? Do you see this as a ultra competitive fight, or do you think Haney gets the job done?
I think it's competitive, not as competitive as Teofimo and Bazboza, but I think it's competitive. Yeah. Can Ramirez beat Haney? Possibly, but I doubt it. I'm more confident in Haney beating Ramirez than in Teofimo beating Bazboza. I think it's a 70-30 fight in Haney's favour.
Yeah. Chris? What about you? Or he's run off. Chris needs the loo.
I'm just putting my phone on charge. That's all. Power bank, but. No, I think I think Haney is going to be extra cautious, and he's going to win on points, but he's going to stink the place out. He's not going to want to get hit, and he's just going to be ultra defensive, and he's going to win every round, but it's just going to be boring. And I guarantee, because it's in America, I bet this is what I can guarantee, that he gets booed while he's fighting, because he's going to win, but he's not going to win in any exciting way. He's just gonna his old style when he was at 135 and everyone was booing him and not really liking his fights. That's what's gonna go like. I can technical decision. Cautious.
You hear about Shane Mosley? Shane Mosley's trainer. He said that he managed to fix his power issue. How's that possible? How can you add a power to somebody not with possible?
Me and Chris have had this debate, right? About who was we talking about, Chris? Well, I think we're talking about Ben Whittaker.
Punches are born, they're not made. They're born, they're not made.
We would have this debate with Ben Whittaker. Look, particularly in the light heavyweight division. I know it's a different discussion, but you don't just suddenly become a puncher. Yeah, you can take on the Kronk style, or you can sit on your shots more, time your shots better. Your different angles and rest. You don't suddenly it's a weird thing, like Moses saying that, because you don't suddenly, someone doesn't just get given power out of nowhere. Like, that's just bizarre. Like, I've never known that.
The only thing you can do is you can learn how to punch harder. You can do that, which you can do, but he's not going to all of a sudden become a knockout artist.
Yeah,
you can learn to punch harder.
Yeah. Power is natural. You either have it, you don't. You can't become a power puncher. You become technical. You can become technical. That can be learned.
Yeah.
Your power is something you mix.
I thought his dad trained him, Bill Haney. I know they get Ben Davison in.
Maybe he's more of a maybe he's like Danny the Boss dad. Like it's like a
I think he's like another coach. He might be. I think he's been in and around the camp a few times, isn't he, and stuff like that. But,
he'll have his dad as a coach, and he used to get Ben Davison as second coach.
Yeah,
quite a bit. So he'll have his dad will probably think of strategies and stuff, and then he has to get a real boxing coach in for the fundamentals. Doing the pads and whatever drills.
Yeah,
I want to double check that actually, because that's quite interesting. Yeah, I tend to agree with you, Chris. Actually, I'm hoping not, but I think after he's obviously had a bit of a difficult time.
He's not going to want to take a shot. No way.
He obviously didn't fancy the Sandor Martin fight, which I understand. Sandor Martin's a tricky guy, experienced, wily guy, and that could have been a banana skin. I don't think this is an easy fight either. I think he's just going to nick the rounds, boys. I think he might get a unanimous decision. I'm going to go unanimous decision because I think he'll probably win 8 out of the 12 rounds. I think it'll go 12. Look, Haney doesn't knock out anyone. Haney never stops no one.
Even past his prime. What's his name? What's his name? The one that just years ago.
Regis Prograde.
Regis Prograde. Even he knocked him down.
Yeah, Regis Prograde.
He's an encyclopedia today, isn't it?
Yeah. Prograde's looked shocking his last couple of fights. Yeah, so I'll chuck my prediction out there first. I'm going to go for a unanimous decision for Haney, but I think it might be a little bit of a snooze fest.
Yeah.
So
same. I second that. Stink the place out. UD. Yemi?
Yemi, any different?
Yeah, I agree. Decision, United decision. Devin Haney, 100%.
Lovely. And cheers, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Check out Yemi's channel.
Like and subscribe.
The link's going to be in the description for Yemi's channel. So get over there, check out his stuff.
You want to talk about the Eubank?
Yeah, we're going to. Yeah, we're just going to come on to Canelo Scull, and then we're going to do a bit of Eubank Junior Benn aftermath because we've got to do a bit of that. I want to get Yemi's thoughts on that as well. Last topic. I'm not really that fussed about this fight, and I'll talk about why. But look, Scull was his mandatory at some stage. The IBF do their. I like the IBF, but them and their fucking nasty.
Why do you always have IBF have the worst mandatory? Why do mandatory tend to be nobodies? Like who's Scull?
It's apparently Ben knocked him out according to Nigel in the 8th round in camp. We had Denzel Pantinska, but I'm not sure how much of that I believe.
Nigel Benn has got dad glasses. Dad glasses.
He got the IBF belt very luckily. I watched his last fight today because I thought, doing the video with these, we got a guest on here. I thought I've got to try and get some enthusiasm for this. And I was looking at this guy. He's got that. He's Cuban. His footwork's half decent, boys. His head movement's not great. He's okay. But I thought he lost the last fight. I thought he got gifted the belt anyway. So I don't really give this guy hope in hell. But perhaps you two, just to try and make the video entertaining, do we give Scull? Yemi, does Scull stand any chance of winning this or not? Help me out.
Is he like a young Arizona Landy reincarnated? If he's a Lara reincarnated, then yes. If it's Lara, if it's like a netter version of Lara, then
he is a little bit Yemi because he's got 9 knockouts in 23 at super middleweight. 9 knockouts in 23. So you're fighting fucking plumbers at super mid, and you're knocking out not even half of them. What's that about? What's going on?
I think. Do you know what? Actually, I rate Lara. I'm a Lara fan. Like I know. I just because.
How old is he? 56.
I think Lara would give Canelo a decent fight right now. Better than this guy. He could. Look what he just demolished that Garcia kid. Not what was he called? Oh, what's he called?
Who's that? Sorry,
Amir Khan. He knocked out Amir Khan.
Oh, who didn't knock out Amir Khan? I'm trying to remember.
He just knocked and Lara gave him a boxing lesson.
Oh God, that's gone out of my head.
Knocked out Amir Khan.
He knocked out Amir Khan. Danny Garcia, yeah. He just
Danny Garcia. Oh, that was his last
He just gave him a lesson. He just gave him a lesson, and he's like 10 years older than him. And I'd love to see Lara Canelo rematch rather than this shit.
Danny Garcia had no business coming back at middleweight after that long layout. That was an absolute shock.
It's terrible. Well, anyway, onto the topic with Scull. I give him a big fat 0 chance of winning. None.
Yeah, man is 5%.
Yeah.
5%. Wow, we're really trying here with Scull, aren't we? The thing is, at the end of the day, we got to be realistic. You know, we can't lead with emotion. Look, I'm not.
We can't lie to you guys.
And I'm not. Me and Chris have spoke about this. This is my next question, and I'll come to you, Yemi. After Triple G, he's fought Ryder, Charlo, Munguia, Berlanga, and now Scull. He hasn't had a KO since Caleb Plant. I'm just going to chuck this out there, though. Is Canelo slightly on the decline now, though?
Yeah,
he's still good enough to beat Scull.
100%.
Yeah, slightly. Yeah, he is on the decline.
If he wasn't on the decline, he wouldn't be taking these easy fights. Because you can't say that I'm the king of mandatories and you want to fight Scull, but when Benavidez was a mandatory, you didn't want to fight him.
Yeah,
you didn't want to fight him. You didn't want to fight him. Then you had another mandatory. You didn't want to fight that guy. You vacated an IBF belt. That's how Scull got it. You know?
Yeah.
He just he only wants to fight people. He brings up. When was the last time he fought someone who campaigns at super middleweight? Actually, for like years.
Oh, I mean, Berlanga was a big super middleweight, but he's green. Berlanga was green.
No, he weren't a super mid. He was middleweight, weren't he, Berlanga?
Did he come up, Berlanga?
He came up. When was the last time he fought someone who's a super middleweight who fights at middleweight was Callum Smith? That's the last one when he actually fought a real super middleweight who's been fighting at super middleweight. They're not just been brought up from light middleweight, you know?
The reason I was saying that was because Berlanga walked in that ring at damn near cruiserweight. He was about 190 pounds, apparently. So, he was massive.
It didn't help him, though.
It didn't, no. Well, he done all right. But, yeah, listen, so Caleb Plant was his last KO. He's obviously going to become it. He is the man in the division anyway. He's obviously going to become undisputed again. The only other ones really in that division is probably Billy and Pacheco, obviously quite high in the Ring magazine.
Yeah.
Do you think what does Canelo do after Scull?
September.
He's fighting Crawford in is it September? He's fighting Crawford.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what happens if he beat? Oh, I chuck this one out. I'll start with Yemi. If he beats Crawford, which me and Chris tend to think he does, do you think he retires, or do you think he still continues the money train for a bit longer after that?
Jake Paul. Don't be surprised. 2026 Jake Paul and Canelo.
I was just about to say that. That's what he's going to fight Jake Paul. I'm telling you, he's going to fight Jake Paul.
God, yeah, that nearly got made. That was that close.
He's going to beat Crawford and fight Canelo. But I hope Crawford wins. I really hope Crawford wins. I'm rooting for Crawford. I want him to win. I want him to win that fight, and he can win. I believe he can win because Canelo's slowed down. He's got the speed. He's fast. He's and he's a smart. He's got more boxing IQ than Canelo. Much more intelligent.
Yeah, and I think the thing is, boys, as well, over the last few years, Canelo hasn't been. It looks like his motivation. He doesn't look as switched on for him. It doesn't look like maybe the heart's in it as much. And the last few years haven't been.
He's a billionaire.
I'm going to have to nip to the loo, boys. I'm going to have to nip to the loo.
No worries. Me and Yemi hold the fort. Yeah. What?
It's hard to be motivated when you made that much money. You made at least 300 million plus. You've got all the money in the world.
That's what they always say, though, isn't it? Though in boxing, it's hard to stay hungry, Yemi, isn't it? When you're wearing silk pajamas, we've seen that with AJ. We've seen that with maybe Deontay Wilder. I think in recent times, you made that. You've earned a hell of a lot of money. Do you still want to be punched in the head anymore? Probably not.
Yeah.
So what?
Yeah, boxing is for people who come from nothing. You know, you had it the hard way, working class background. When you got the money, you achieved generational wealth. Why you need to get? You know, boxing a dangerous game. Why put your body through all that torture when you don't need to?
Yeah, well said. No, it's true, and I can totally understand that, and I respect any fighter who walks in the ring at the end of the day. It's not a game. It's not a sport to be played, is it? So while Chris sort of comes back, give us your prediction, Yemi, on how you sort of see this one going. I'm assuming you're going to go KO.
Stoppage. If Scull can get beaten by Conor Benn, who's a welterweight, then stoppage Canelo.
Yeah.
Mid stoppage, early mid stoppage.
Early to mid stoppage from Yemi. Chris, are you going to go along with that?
I'm going to say early stoppage, and then everyone's going to start getting on the Canelo bandwagon again, like thinking he's like bigging him up.
Yeah. Oh, he's just beat the IBF champion. So what?
Yeah, he's undisputed again.
Yeah.
2-time undisputed.
Hard to disagree, boys, as we wrap the video up. I think, so I was watching his fight today, his last fight, when he picked up the IBF, and he didn't look, he was getting hit quite a lot. And I think if he gets hit like that by Canelo, who we know I know Canelo's not a one-punch knockout artist, but he does hit very, very hard. He's got that sort of clubbing power, isn't he? I think it could be, within 6 rounds. So I'm going pretty much the same as you boys. So, yeah.
Sure.
So that's it. Don't forget to like and sub, leave a comment, share the video, all that.
I do have a prediction, guy. What about the heavyweight F.A. Jagba?
Oh, yeah.
Well done, Yemi. Do you know, I almost forgot about that. We got to talk about this fight. That's the fight. I think because Badou Jack's back as well after a bit of a layoff. But F.A. Jagba Piccoli. Go on, Yemi, take us away. Give us your thoughts on that fight.
If Piccoli's taking his fight seriously, like Billy Nelson says he is, then it should be a stoppage. I've never been impressed by Jagba. Jagba's a good mover, but it never impressed me.
The thing about Jagba is he's got a good punch on him. That right hand, he's got a right hand like Wilder, very fast, but
straight.
But Piccoli likes to close you down. So because Piccoli's closing him down, he's not going to get the leverage on the punch. Because Piccoli's like he's a swarmer, isn't he? So Jagba's not going to be able to land that right hand, and I don't think he's going to be able to take the pressure, capitulate. However, when you get knocked out, it's not really good for the body and the mind. And when you get knocked out like that, he can have the excuse of, I took the fight on 6 hours notice, I wasn't ready, all he wants. But it still takes time off the clock when you get stopped like that, even though that the trainer threw the towel in quite early. But yeah, it should be a stoppage, but I don't know. Just the fact that he took that fight, I'm a bit dubious of where he's at. You know? So he's going to have to make a statement that he's still the boogeyman, as he says. And king of sparring.
That Parker fight.
The thing about Piccoli, though, who's Piccoli really knocked out? Because honestly, was unproven. He was an American prospect. Who is he really knocked out to be a boogeyman?
I mean, generally outside of them, obviously, I think Tony Yoka, but Tony Yoka's gone on to, he's fighting in legislators now. He Takam, he stopped, obviously, a journeyman, road warrior, we like to call him now.
Yeah.
Michael Hunter, he lost to, obviously, had that shoulder problem, didn't he? I believe, or he had some sort of arm problem. But actually, it's a good point from him. If you break down his record, actually, outside of sparring, where he's the undisputed king of sparring, he hasn't actually. Jared Anderson has proven himself to lack. Let's be honest, lacks a bit of lacks heart, but motivation and desire has been found wanting.
Because Anderson really just an American hope, just like one new American hope guy. Guys, people want him to be champ because he's American.
Yeah,
but again, unproven.
Yeah, I think that whole Parker debacle has not improved his stock at all. Actually, I mean that ended up being a bit of a PR disaster, and I don't know what was going on there. I think my thoughts on it are, I believe he's looking to come in quite fit. I've seen a few videos going around about him sort of boiling down in weight, but he's a naturally big man anyway. I guess my question is, I just hope he doesn't maybe lose too much weight and loses a bit of strength, because that's what I've heard. I don't know if this is true, I've heard he's really trying to take a lot of weight off. And he was up to about 300, what was he, 313 pounds stepping in the ring.
Yeah.
I mean, bloody hell, if he,
definitely.
even getting back down to 270, Chris, that's about 53 pounds he's trying to take off.
Yeah.
So what do you think? What weight would you want to see him come at?
I would say
like high 280s, like 280s, 270s. Yeah,
270s, 280s. But you don't want your training camp to turn into a fitness camp.
Exactly.
No.
And you're not practicing your boxing. You're just trying to get in a decent fighting shape, because that's where you go wrong.
Dave Allen style.
Yeah, that's where you go wrong. It's not a keep fit camp. You're supposed to, if you stay in shape, then I mean, when you start your training camp, you're practicing your boxing. You're getting your timing right, strategy and all that, instead of trying to lose 2 stone and then having a few weeks of sparring and then fighting. It's no good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So coming back, coming back to you, Yemi, if Bakole does get in shape, you know, the sort of shape we kind of know he can get at, and he's I think he's got a really high stat for a heavyweight, you know, the amount of punches he throws around. I think he's got like the 3rd highest. So, you know, we do know he's got, when his stamina's there, his punch output's up. If he comes in shape, Yemi, do you see him stopping a Jagba?
Yeah, it should be. I predict the stoppage.
Yeah.
He has to. He wants to be taken serious as a you know, a champion contender. He has to stop him.
I can't disagree with that. I mean, a Jagba, because a Jagba's one loss was against Frank Sanchez, wasn't it? The Cuban, which is obviously no shame in that. But outside of that, I think he's a silver champ. Thing is with a Jagba, like as Chris said, like he's pretty basic. You know, he hits hard. Who's he really thought though? Bakole is his best opponent by far, other than Frank Sanchez. And Frank Sanchez, he lost to, Chris. Yeah. So where do we rate a Jagba in the heavyweight division? Let's, you know,
maybe top 20.
Yeah,
I reckon he should fight Ike Ibuchi. I reckon Ike Ibuchi will do it. The president right now.
The president.
I will make the president. He should go and fight him in Nigeria. No, but I think Ike Ibuchi, he's in good shape. He's in better shape than Mike Tyson is right now. I reckon he'd do it.
Don't know about his punch resistance at 20 years in prison and 54 years of age, but he might be watching, because we had him on one of our videos.
We interviewed him. No, I think he's all right. He's got his mental skills.
How old is he now?
He's nearly 60. I think he's nearly in his 50s.
No.
Yeah. No, but he look.
Okay, he was from the 90s. He's from like the Mike Tyson, Lex Lewis.
If you think, like, so say, you see how Mike Tyson looked for the Jake Paul fight? Ike Ibuchi is in much better shape than that now. I watch his training videos and that. I'm telling you, he'll start him, but it's a lose.
Yeah,
it's a lose though for a Jagba. It's a lose-lose. If he knocks him out, he doesn't win nothing.
I wonder if he's met Joshua on his, you know, because Joshua was Nigeria a lot. I wonder if he met Nigeria, him and Joshua. Maybe.
Yeah, it would have been nice. I think. But do you know what? When we interviewed him, he was like trying to make a comeback, like for real, like he's serious. And he's a scary guy. So if he's watching this, like, yeah, we think we believe that he can make a comeback. But like Matchroom and all them guys weren't taking him serious, and he was calling out AJs and all them. He wanted to fight Anthony Joshua, Wilder. He wanted to fight them like now.
No, I wanted to get his boxing license back. Yeah, and everything.
He tried to get his boxing. I think he tried to get his boxing license and everything.
He's banned from.
No, he's banned. Jay can't go there.
He can't come to the UK.
Yeah, I think so. So he has to fight in that, and he's based in. He's in Abuja. Last time he was in Abuja. Last time we interviewed him, we believe in him. But I think that's probably why AJ might not want to meet him, because he's very deadly serious that he wants to fight him like now, and he's in training. In his training videos, he's ready to go.
Coming back to,
I really pray that maybe one day we have season could happen in Africa, Nigeria. They could get Ika beat. All the African fighters and attack him. Joshua Wilder.
Nice.
All the African fighters in one fight card. That'd be amazing.
Oh, can you imagine? I'm not sure I'd want to see it. Like, if you're watching, I wouldn't want to see it. I want you to stay healthy. But look, if you believe you can do it, crack on. So coming back to this fight, boys, it's an interesting one, this, for me, because for me, it's kind of like if I'm basing my prediction on if Bakole gets himself back in shape, kind of where he was kind of pre-Parker, I expect him to stop Ajagba late in this fight. But if he's not switched on, if he's whatever, if he comes in at 300 pounds, a bit sluggish, I'll tell you what, it's dicey because Ajagba can bang. So I'm going to go for a Bacoli stoppage, rounds 8-10. But yeah, good. Well, Chris, give me your prediction.
I'm going to say Bacoli on points.
Oh, you don't think there'll be a stoppage?
No,
Interesting.
Just because obviously when he was back in Congo, he let himself go a lot. So for me, I know when you go back home to Africa, like you have to eat. You have to eat all the time, every day when you go and see your family. So that's why he weighed so much. And the food, it is healthy for your average person, but not if you're an athlete. There's too much oil in it and skin and stuff like it's, you need, if you're an athlete, especially in a strict diet. I just think letting yourself go, getting yourself knocked out, then straight back into camp. I see him winning. His timing's going to be a bit off because he was not been training. He's been at home celebrating. I just feel it's going to take him a while to warm into the fight. Then he's going to start landing his shots and he'll just win on points. And I think this is Ajagba's world title. This is his world title.
Cup final, mate.
Yeah.
Cup final. And Yemi, you've gone with a Bacoli stoppage, haven't you? Similar to me. Yeah.
Yeah. Even though he had a piss poor performance against Parker, he did hurt Parker in the early rounds. So he has got devastating power. And I don't think Ajagba is as a talented as Parker. So I see a stoppage definitely. Yeah. Even though he might be fully recovered from the knockout, I think it will stop him.
And we don't really know an awful lot about Ajagba's chin because he hasn't really been in there against someone that hits anywhere near as hard as what Bacoli does and the amount that he hits. So I think that's the other question mark for me is what I need to see what Ajagba's chin's like. I think if he can take a clean shot early and he's still there, he might have half a chance. But I'm sticking with my prediction. So, but yeah, again, everyone, let us know if you agree with us. Leave a comment, like and subscribe, share the video, all that stuff.
Okay.
Right, boys.
Now is it the Conor Benn?
Now we got to do, because we got Yemi as our guest. Obviously, we had that great night last week. So would just Yemi, give us your thoughts just on the night, on the aftermath to it, the result. Give us your feelings on the whole thing.
A wonderful surprise. I didn't think this fight would be competitive based on the weights and Conor Benn being unproven, but Conor Benn proved us wrong that he has heart and he took Eubank to his limits. And I don't think the thing is though, Eubank was fully hydrated and was for that weight cut. I don't think Eubank would have stopped Benn late. That's my opinion, but I still give benefit that he did try. He did his father proud, and he gave us one hell of a boxing, event.
Well said. Well said. I think we felt that, Chris, didn't we? That if there weren't all these rehydration hijinks and God knows what, Eubank Jr. probably would have stopped him late on there, wouldn't he?
Yeah, 100%. Like the only time he got hurt by Benn is when Benn. It was like when Benn was throwing the punches that you can't see. So when he was landing like quick counter punches, that's when he was hurting him. But when he was catching Eubank clean and Eubank could see the punch, he was walking through him. Towards the end, he was walking through Benn's shots, just like taking it on the arms, taking it on the side of the head to get his own shots off. He didn't care about it.
I wanted to say, Chris and Yemi, I was thinking about this today, because we've all done our kind of post-fight videos, but he needs to set up that right hand more, doesn't he? Because he was just telegraphing and throwing that right hand wildly. And I was just thinking, where did the jab go? The jab to the body. And Tony Sims was sort of saying to him, you're not throwing off the feints. And he just kept wildly. I think if he can just calm down a little bit in the rematch, which will probably happen. I know it's easy for me to say. I mean, he's it's his first major. We have to remember that. Yeah. He must have been filled with so much emotion, and Chris as well. But I think he just needs to set up the right hand a little bit more. Just take his time a bit more. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, be patient. Yeah, absolutely. He's very impatient, Conor Benn. That was his problem. He was very impatient, especially in the early rounds.
Wild, wasn't he?
It was erratic.
He's so erratic. Like he must have thrown that overhand right without setting it up about 20 times. And like, if it doesn't land the first 10 times, maybe try a different way to land it, because just throwing it, just because Chris Eubank Jr. said something to you that you don't like, and then throwing an overhand right, it's not gonna work. Because I've seen it. Like Eubank Jr., he talked to him, and then Benn would growl at him and throw an overhand right, and then get countered.
Guys, what do you think of Eubank Senior's surprise entrance? That was like magic. Wow, when it's thrown together, his voice, Eubank Senior coming out of
Chris, go on. Do you want to start? Do you want to start? How did you feel when you first saw it?
Yeah, well, I did an instant reaction video. I was so excited because how old are you, Yemi? Do you remember them fights back then? Like,
yeah, Nigel Benn. Yeah, it was before my time.
I watched the first fight with my dad. I would have been about 9 years old, and that's one of my earliest memories of boxing. And me and my dad, we were senior fans, and
I was Nigel Benn fan.
When he came in, it was like, oh my God, the man's here. The man's here. And it was a beautiful moment. And then you seen Conor Benn and Nigel Benn. It's like, reaction. I felt like they thought, oh shit. Because I felt like when he came, even though they were glad that he came to make the event, I think they felt like, oh, this is going to give Eubank a boost. And it gave them a boost.
I think it did.
You know what I mean? Like, it's like, boom, they're down, they're a bit demotivated, and Eubank's a little bit motivated after that moment, because they were both staring at it like, huh?
Do you think Turkey actually paid him to attend this event?
That's my theory. I think it could have. I think Turkey Al-Sheikh, because they said Turkey Al-Sheikh's the one that got him to come, like persuaded him to come. I think he either got him one of them stretch or sorted him out some sort of compensation to come.
Load of women.
He's not coming. He hates the fight and he doesn't want to watch it. Then Turkey Al-Sheikh has a little word, and he's coming. And Turkey Al-Sheikh's best thing that he's got is money. Money controls
everyone. Money talks.
Yeah.
But I'm not saying that. I'm saying that could happen, but I'm not saying that did definitely happen. But I'm just saying I believe it could have happened. It's very possible that it could have happened.
So my answer to your question, Yemi, I loved it. It was a bit WWE. It was all a bit kind of Vince McMahon, Stone Cold Steve. It was all getting a bit. But I love the kind of emotion. I get wrapped up in that. One thing I noticed, though, is the difference between Nigel Benn and Chris Eubank Jr. Chris Eubank Sr. wanted to he was reveling the limelight, soaking it up. Nigel Benn was walking behind Conor a lot because I think he wanted to put him on front and centre. And I kind of preferred that. But I understood what Eubank Sr. was doing, but I felt like he took a little bit away from his son a little bit. Do you think that's fair to say that? That was just my take.
Yeah,
I agree. Yeah, Eubank Senior he loves the attention. He loves the limelight.
He's a media whore. Like if Chris Eubank Senior wasn't strutting around like a peacock, it's like Chris Eubank Jr. said, because they said, "Oh, like, what do you think about your dad?" Like he said that it's just how my dad is. Like this, he said a lot. This win is for my dad. As what probably more than me, is for my dad. That's what he said. And
he idolizes.
My dad just loves the media. He loves it, and it's not going to change. So it's basically he's resigned to the fact that even though his dad's always going to behave like that, and he loves him anyway, regardless. So I thought that was a nice thing. Like he's my dad. He's a media whore, but I love him anyway. So let him do.
Yeah, was it staged? Was that always going to happen? Like, did they kid us all along? Did we get cucked or what? Like what?
I think Turkey Al-Sheikh persuaded him. I've got a feeling.
I think last minute
you and Chris agree.
Yeah.
Turkey's got his influence everywhere, isn't it?
Guys, you want to do a quick review on undercard, like Yard and
Yeah.
Do you want me to start, Chris?
Go ahead.
I was a little bit disappointed with the Yard Arthur. I mean, I was making sort of some jokes about, I kept making jokes about. Sorry, Lyndon Arthur, if he even watches our videos, which he probably doesn't. I was sort of saying he was all £4 no penetration because he keeps touching people with his lead hand, and he just will not throw that penetrative right hand, and it was just drives me mad watching him. And he just seemed to sort of give up in the second half of the fight. I think his work ethic's not there. I don't really know where Yard's at. I think if he gets in there with Buatsi and Callum Smith at this current stage, I think he loses.
He beats him.
Yeah, Liam Smith. Although Chris disagrees, to be fair. So, do you want to come back in on that, Chris?
So I just think it wasn't the greatest performance, but Lyndon Arthur made it that way, and leaning on the ropes and all that kind of stuff. And Yard wasn't really loading up in that fight. And one thing that I'll take away positive for Yard in that fight, he's finally learned how to pace himself. So he's got something left in the championship rounds. So when he steps up a level and he fights someone better than Lyndon Arthur, who's fighting back, he'll know how to pace himself and he can put his strategy together better, because he normally gasses out every time. Like when he's fighting in competitive fights. Like he showed good pace of his stamina in that fight. That's the one good thing. And I think Buatsi can beat him. Callum Smith, I'd probably favour Callum Smith, but it'd be a close fight. I don't think he's finished, or I think he's lost a step with speed and timing, but he's gained experience. So he's going to be like a vet. Old manning people in there using his experience.
Is he one of those fighters that he fights according to his opponent's level? If he takes you seriously, he will perform like he did against Kovalev and better be here. But less seriously, not that fight he fought on the boxer card.
Vilkans. Oh, that was dreadful, wasn't it?
It's like his timing's off, and he can't seem to get it back. His timing's off. Because he used to rely on reflexes a lot, and he's getting older now. They're not quite there.
He's not been that active, Chris. I think that's the problem. He should have been, after the Beterbiev fight, he should have been out 3 times a year. Like, it's a weird one with him. Like, I say this to Chris all the time, Yard, Chris knows, I was a massive fan of Yard. Like, I think he looks the part, he's good looking, he's sellable, he's marketable, he's strong, he's powerful. And yet, I don't think he's been promoted that well. Nobody really knows who he is. If you walk down the street, this guy should be a megastar. And I think him and Tunde...
The issue is, the issue of Yard is, he fights an elite fighter in Kolob and Beterbiev, but for some reason he drops down to like journeyman. Why does he fight journeyman?
I don't know why he does it.
Why?
I don't know why.
Why doesn't he allow him to fight journeyman? Why does
the old excuse used to be?
Why?
He's only had 6 amateur fights. He's only had, that's what they used to say all the time. And now they can't say that. So I don't know what the reason is. And they've made a change. At least now he's not going back to fighting journeyman, but he's not getting the exciting fights, really. I think he needs to fight.
I hope now, because he's in Twilight's career, he fights somebody of notice, like he fights Callum Smith or
what. He's got no choice.
No more journeyman, no more. You fight somebody, then back to fighting journeyman. Keep your level. Maintain.
It's like I always say, steel sharpens steel. So he's not going to get any better. So like he needs to keep fighting how he has been fighting now, and then maybe when Bivol and Beterbiev move up, he can snatch one of them belts.
Well, yeah, when they retire, certainly Beterbiev's going to retire after the 3rd fight.
Yeah, for sure.
So going down the rest of the card, I mean, the Liam Smith fight probably ain't worth mentioning. I mean, he was game. We know Liam Smith's tough.
A big upset. Alvin McCann was unbelievable.
He was terrific. And Liam Smith were just. I think I don't know what's wrong with his ankle, but he keeps rolling over his own ankle. You know, when he's fighting, like it's like a nervous twitch. Have you seen it? So he rolls his own ankle while he's fighting, and like when he does.
Do you not play a lot of football?
But he's part of a football team. He plays like every single week. And if I know he likes to stay shape and it's a hobby, but I wouldn't do that. Why are you putting extra cardio and stress on your body when you're professional?
On the joint. It's a lot of high impact on the ankle joint, Chris, playing football.
Knees, it's just even a lot of fighters, they don't even do road work when they get into their 30s. Rowing machines, cycling, stuff like that for their stamina, because the shin splints, the shin splints and like the knee joints and all that, they can't take all that running. They just can't take it. It fucks your joints, your ligaments, tendons, and your bones. So that's why they start using rowing machines and cycling so they can have longevity in their career.
Yeah.
Do you think he will retire now? Do you think Beefy will call it a day now?
It's finished.
I think so, yeah. I'd be because he was going. I really wanted to see that Josh Kelly fight that broke down. I think he had an injury, Liam Smith.
Yeah.
I think that would have been a decent test for Kelly because Kelly doesn't like fighters that stick it on him. We saw that with Abanisi, and even in his last fight, he went life and death with I've forgotten his bloody name, and I like him as well.
Ishmael Davis.
Yeah, Ishmael Davis.
Yeah.
Boy, that was a bit dicey in the 12th round there, or the 10th round, whatever it was there. Yeah, I mean, while we got you on here, just to sort of round up, give us your thoughts on the last two fights in that card. So obviously, had Vidal Riley, British champion, and Chris Billings.
Yeah, another stand-up performer. Vidal Riley really performed. Excellent performance against Clark was abysmal as well. I was like, what Virgil Hunter? Do you think it's overrated? Because Hunter hasn't impressed anybody apart from Ward.
I don't know what trainers seem to peak and fall off a cliff. Like everyone's going on about now, Andy Lee, Don Charles. 2 years ago, it was Derek James. I don't know what it is with trainers. They seem to peak and then fall off a cliff. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, and then Ben Davison had his time as well. Ben Davison.
Yeah.
He's still there.
Yeah. He's a good trainer. Yeah. Look what he's doing with Moses. He's doing a great job with Moses and Wardley.
Yeah, Wardley as well. Yeah, I mean, I think AJ, at the end of the day, AJ's just coming to the end of his career. But, fair play to Vidal Riley, always a dream for him to get in that British champion. What about Chris?
Do you think he can beat? Do you think Vidal Riley could potentially beat CBS and Smith?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think it's a 50-50 fight right now because Bill and Smith's at the end of his career and Vidal Riley's coming up, and Vidal Riley's definitely at least European level, if not better. Yeah. And CBS is just below world level. They're thereabouts because he's just lost his world title. So they're at the same level. So it's a 50-50 fight. So we can easily.
I wish Boxer promoted better. I think he promoted good with Ben Shalom. I don't think he promoted.
No, you make a good point there, Yemi, because I made this point in the preview. That was his 13th fight since turning pro in 2018. Why has he only been out almost once a year? Since he turned pro, again, we need more activity because what he showed against Chev Clark was really good.
Yeah, I love that. Like he did a Muhammad Ali move, which I can't get over. Like when Muhammad Ali does the pull counter, so they go in for the jab, they overreach, he pulls back and comes back over the top with the right hand. But it's like he's slipping a shot and countering all at the same time in one, and he did it. And I thought, wow, he's doing Muhammad Ali moves.
I'm not sure if Ben Shalom realizes, but Vidal Riley's got a big social media presence. He's got over 1 million subscribers on YouTube channel. Don't you watch it? Vidal's got his own YouTube channel.
He's very promotable. I think Yemi makes a good point, Chris, doesn't he? Because I think he should be a lot bigger maybe than what he is. It's a weird one. It's a weird one.
But it's the reason for that is when he started, no one took him serious because he used to train Jake Paul. They thought this guy's not a serious boxer, so they just
YouTuber.
But now he's doing things. I think if I was him, I'd leave Ben Shalom because he's not going to get any big fights. Like all the cruiserweight world champions with Golden Boy, Matchroom, and all the cruiserweights, Queens. There's not many decent ones with Boxer and Ben Shalom.
Apart from React-Paw, I guess.
React-Paws are but because React-Paws with Boxer, I guarantee
React-Paw is like a part-time model. He's like Madonna's a playboy.
Ben Shalom will not let them fight each other. He'll only want to. Do you know what I mean? Because he don't want his stable to get depleted or whatever. He's funny he don't let his fighters fight each other, and he doesn't like letting people fight. His fighters fight other fighters unless he's got control of the show. So, and he's always putting out purse bids and that. So I think he's not a good promoter for Vidal Riley, really.
So I've got
CBS Brandon
Glanton.
Glanton.
So I've got
again good performance, but I think CBS is tired. Look tired. I think.
Yeah, well, I was going to ask you, Yemi, as sort of rounding the sort of session up. Chris interviewed. He managed to get up to the Usyk press conference. Unfortunately, I couldn't make it, but he managed to chat to Chris.
I interviewed Bill.
Who's a lovely guy. He always comes across very well, and and my good friend Josh has sparred him quite a few times. A lovely lad. He spoke on when he was interviewing you, Chris. He said that he wants a world title shot, and of course he's going to say that, but Yemi, do you think at 34 that he's had a lot of wars? Do you see him winning a world title again?
The only chance he's got if he gets a title fight Badou Jack. If he doesn't fight Badou Jack, he'll get. I would tell him destroy him, and Zedda will.
It's funny you said that. So when I interviewed him, I asked him about the Vidal Riley fight, and he said, "No, not right now, because I only fight in want to fight for a world title or high opponents. That's why he fought Grafton." Because I was like, "Who is Grafton? Why did you fight him?" And he went, "Because he's got a high ranking with WBC." Because he said that's what, and he said we're trying to get the WBC belt off Badou Jack. That's what they're going for. That's what he's going for.
Badou Jack's been mad inactive. The last 2 years, he's done nothing.
Yeah, it's the WBC. Like, it doesn't matter if you're inactive. You can look at Wilder. He didn't fight Dylan White for like 3 years, and he ended up losing the belt to Fury and didn't fight him at all.
That's what I mean. Because he's been sitting on his arse about it. I think Badou Jack is well beatable by CBS.
I think CBS
he's still got enough to beat.
Yeah, but hopefully you get a title fight, gets Badou Jack, and then cashes out, gets appetite.
I'd love to, because I like him, and I think. And the other thing he said in your interview, Chris, is that the one thing he misses. I thought it was a good interview, actually. Yeah. He really misses being away from camp because of his kids, and I think because of the style of fight, I know he can box a bit, but he takes so much punishment. He's kind of Derek Chisora. I'm doing him a disservice because he's a better boxer than them, but he's a bit like Joyce and Chisora, where he takes too much punishment. And because I know he's a gentleman and a family man, I don't want to see that too much more, boys. Do you know what I mean?
I do have an idea. If he can't, say he loses to Badou Jack, hopefully he doesn't. The option is him and Riakpo have a
decider,
like a dust up.
Riakpo will come back down to cruiserweight potentially, I suppose, won't he? Because he hasn't even fought a heavyweight yet, anyway.
What about Bridgerweight?
Or a Bridgerweight?
That could be something.
They're both big enough. Chris Bennett, how tall did he look, Chris? He's about. I'm sure he's about nearly my height. He's about 6'3", isn't he?
Yeah. He's not that tall though. He didn't seem much taller than me, to be honest.
So maybe he's not as tall as what.
I'm 5'11" and a half, so just a half an inch under being 6 foot. So he's
he's about 6'1", maybe about 6'2" then. So so he could make Bridgerweight, couldn't he?
We'd say Bridgerweight because it's too small for heavyweight.
Yeah, no. I mean, I understand what they're saying off the Tiger. Again, he's got the power and the speed. Chris Phillips-Smith would be. I think he'd be hit way too much at heavyweight.
Too small for heavyweight, definitely.
And the power as well they'd be hitting with. So, yeah. Listen, I just want to thanks very much for coming on. We'll round it off there. But before you go, Yemi.
One more thing, guys. I'll ask you, what's your take on the mysterious pull-up with Miller? Big Baby Miller.
That was the other thing I wanted to discuss.
After this one, we'll wrap it up.
Speculate.
What's going on with
has Miller popped dirty?
I'll tell you what's happened. I know exactly what's happened. I can tell you now. You heard it here first. Jerome Miller, you know when he said all that swearing and shit, and he put hands on Wardley.
Yeah.
So British Boxing Board of Control, they said, well, we're withholding your purse, and if you do anything else, we're gonna take, because you know the purse gets put in escrow, I
remember,
They said we're withholding your purse. If you do anything else while you're here at the press conferences, we're gonna fine you. Say it's $100,000 like they give to Eubank Jr. Because and everyone was moaning, me included. How can you give Eubank Jr. $100,000 fine for cracking an egg on someone's face? And this guy is swearing, being homophobic, and then he puts his hand and slaps someone in the face, and he wouldn't calm down and respect, and he wasn't leaving it. So he needs to get fined as well. And he didn't get fined, but they said if you do it again, we're going to fine you. I think Miller said, because he didn't sign a contract, as he said at the press conference, he said, I haven't even signed a contract yet. Yeah, it's not finalised, but we're going to do the fight. I think because the Boxing Board of Control have withheld his purse, he said, fuck you, I'm not doing the fight. I'm not signing it. I'm pulling out.
Where's he going to go, though? Who's going to fight?
He did it last time. He was supposed to fight Derek Chisora. He doesn't care. He's like,
this happens all the time.
He's supposed to fight Chisora with big money, and because his previous promoter has got like he's got this legal thing where he gets a percentage of his purse. So he's like, so if I fight Derek for this money, I've got to give half of it to him, 20% to my trainer, and I'm left with fuck all. And then he's pulled out of the Derek Chisora fight for that reason. That's what he said. And now I think because the British Boxing Board of Control said, if you do one thing, we're going to take 100 grand out your purse. I think he's thought, fuck that. I'm not fighting you then if you're going to do that. Because I do what I do. I'm pulled out again.
So purposely put out fights to avoid paying Dimitri Salita.
Yeah. He's got a hold over every purse he gets a percentage of it every fight.
He's imprisoned by him. But I'll tell you what, Yemi and Chris, like, I'm getting sick of this from Miller now. Like, do you know what? All right, if they would have just stopped boxing, because, you know, stop kind of like these, because I liked the Chisora fight as well. I mean, bloody hell, that would have been
that would have been a great fight.
Go and do something else. Be a promoter, right? He'd be an unbelievable promoter with his mouth, the way he goes on. Go and do something else. Stop chucking names out there and coming out saying you want to fight and fighting all these guys, and then at the last minute pulling out. It's just doing my head in.
I heard loads of callers meant to be a replacement now for Wardley.
Who was that, Yemi? Because I think
Lawrence Scull
meant to be.
Yeah, that's what we heard earlier. I think there was another name in there as well, but Lawrence. I tell you what, if a Coley takes that fight, fair play to him, because I think that's a dangerous one for a Coley. That
dangerous. Where Fabio's a small heavyweight, a Coley should be able to keep up with him with the speed, and it make for a good fight.
Well, he's 6'5". Again, did he look 6'5"? Chris, you interviewed him the other day. He's billed as 6'5". Is he all of 6'5"?
He was sat down. So I couldn't really tell.
Oh, right. But he's a 17 stone heavyweight, isn't he?
Yeah.
So,
who've you got if that fight happens? Go on. Start with you, Yemi. A Coley, Wardley.
A Coley and points.
Why?
Even though I want Wardley to win, I think
interesting.
What's the reason?
I think it's more technical.
Yeah, no, you are right though.
Wardley is good for white collar boxer, but a Coley's Olympian is a proven champion. He's a more technical fighter.
Interesting. My first instinct. I understand what Yemi's saying there. You know, because we know that Fabio Wardley's raw. We know he hits, but I fancy him to catch a Coley at some point if it happens. I fancy Wardley to catch him maybe and stopping him, but I could, you know, that's just my first instinct. But go on, Chris.
I think my first instinct is Wardley stoppage. Like, we don't know because we haven't seen him take a shot at heavyweight, but his punch resistance at cruiserweight wasn't very good. That's why he used to always be octopus and always hold people, because he was scared to get hit.
Cruiserweight, Was that because of his weight?
We don't know if he can take it, because it might be a weight drain, but we don't know because we haven't seen him fight at heavyweight yet. Like someone who's hits back. He's only had one or two fights. Yeah. So I'm saying Fabio Wardley will catch him and knock him out.
Fascinating matchup, though, boys. That's a brilliant fight, and that would sell out Portman Road. You've already booked the venue, right? You've already booked the venue. Get a Coley in. That's the fight.
Coley was already in camp for the Dylan White fight. Had a little injury. Yeah. He's ready.
Make it happen. Make it happen. That's the fight.
I think one more thing to discuss before we end this show. You said the Dubai press conference is Don Charles very bitter. He's the most bitter man in boxing.
Chris interviewed him as well. He seemed right. But Chris, go on. You lead with this one, mate.
I wouldn't say bitter. Maybe I'd say he's passionate. He's passionate. He's passionate about his fighters. It's like, if you think about Derek Chisora's press conferences in Fury, Don Charles is there trying to square off against Shane Fury. Like, he really gets involved, like he's fighting as well. Like, even when he first took over the first Usyk fight, he was like, he's going to beat him, the stuff at the Joshua fight. Like, Don Charles is just he's very eccentric and very passionate guy.
He wears his heart in his sleeve.
Yeah, that's what I'll say. So he's just passionate and loves his fighters. Like, when he takes a fighter and it's like it's his son, and he'll do anything and say anything to protect them and stick up for them.
I like him. I don't know. I know he
guys.
said some controversial things, but I see him as a bit of a father. Not to me, obviously. I don't know him.
Yeah. For his
But
fighters.
he looks like a father figure to me, and he just really is ultra protective of his guys. So I like him. Yeah, but what about you though? Do you like him? You didn't like some of the things he was saying, or?
I do like him as a trainer, but I just think it's just part of me is a bit bitterness. I just think he just went too far.
Fair enough.
And you know, using
because I did
not being.
I did ask him
that.
It
got a bit weird, didn't it?
I did ask him that. I said, like, obviously their argument is, how can they cheat when the referee called it? Can you explain it? And then obviously conditioning. But people do that. I'll give you an example. You know, Alex Ferguson. I don't know if you can remember, Yemi, but like, so referee, like that, yeah. When Man United are winning, and he's like, "Look at your watch, look at your watch." Is it finished? Like he keeps doing it, and then it gets in the referee's head, like,
Fergie time,
injury time. Is it?
They used to call it Fergie time, Chris.
Yeah, like people do that, like put things in coach's head. And Usyk is a bit of a crybaby sometimes when people are fouling him.
Clever though, Usyk's clever.
Usyk's clever. He is clever.
Yeah. He's always one step ahead.
Always one step ahead. So if he's doing it, that's a strategy. Dubois is just going to have to punch a little bit higher.
But this fight, is it repeat revenge?
Repeat.
I'm still going Usyk, but I know it sounds obvious. I think Dubois got to storm the beaches of Normandy. He's got a risk being knocked out. Go for it. I know it sounds like really simple. He's just got to absolutely go for it. Usyk's too wily, too good, too skilled. Unless Usyk's on the decline at 38, which I don't think he will be enough. Yeah. There's no point getting in a boxing match with him. There's no point trying to outthink him, IQ him. Dubois isn't that guy. He's got to storm the beaches of Normandy. Be educated pressure a little bit. Yeah. He's just got
I wish Dubois had three boxing IQ. Then I will give him a good chance, but unfortunately, he's not
exactly.
He's just got to do what he did last time, and then just if he hurts Usyk, don't get overexcited and think you've won because you haven't, and just concentrate on what you're doing.
But his gas tank's better now, and he's got more experience. Yeah. So I do give him more of a chance.
And he's got a self-belief.
Yeah.
All
right, wrap it up, guys, because I'm going to have to go.
Yeah. Thanks for coming, Yemi. Before you go, shout out all your socials, your YouTube channel. We'll stick it on the description, but let us know your channel and who you are and all the rest of it.
Yeah, like I said, find me, guys. Thanks for having a guest. Chatting boxing, Yemi Babatunde, as in my profile now. It's my YouTube channel, but Instagram, X, Facebook, Yemi Babatunde. You can follow me on the social medias. And I'm a passionate boxing fan. I've been in the game 2-3 years. I've actually interviewed a few boxers. I've interviewed that's Jonas
nice.
On my channel. Barry Jones. I've got an interview with him on my channel. I've also Kenny Manoli.
Cool.
I've interviewed him on my channel. So I've had a few interviews in the past.
Yeah.
So.
No, it's been a pleasure, Yemi. No, you're really knowledgeable, and if you want us to come on your channel sometime, we're absolutely
we're always free.
Definitely, guys. Thanks for having me, guys. Definitely. Do you mind if I put this on my channel as well? This show.
Yeah,
do you mind if send me a link?
Please do.
No worries.
Yeah.
Like and subscribe, guys. Like and subscribe.
Like and sub.